Hello Retro Readers and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, different setup because as you probably have seen in either my Instagram stories or the 2-minute video I filmed yesterday and posted for a while, for like a day before I took it down. I can't edit my videos because my computer, it will take on both phones because I film on my phone, two of them. One of them's like my really old one, the other one is this one, which is the one I use for texting, whatever. But both phones, I tried to film videos and put it on my computer, and on both phones, my computer would not take the videos, but it'll take like photos. So yeah, I need to figure out if another computer will take it, because I have two. One of them is the one I use to edit, and it's very old. The other one is supposed to be for school, but I can't really do anything for school on it, so what even is the point? Anyways, so with that rant out of the way, I'm just, filming a different setup right now, and I'm going to be filming these videos without editing them because I've missed filming, and even though it's been like a day, but I miss filming, and I really wanted to share with you guys what I read in July. So yeah, I read technically 10 books for July, but 5 of the books I read are for secret TBR, so I will not be talking about them in this video. So let's just get into this video of what I read. The first thing, I did not read, I DNF'd it, but it's As Close to Us as Breathing by Elizabeth Polliner. And it's basically about, it's a historical fiction kind of about this family, this Jewish family in America in 1948. They go on a summer vacation, and one of the family members dies, which is a kid. And the reason why I DNF'd this is because it was very, 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 very slow, very boring, and I didn't like it. I only got to page, I think, like, not very far. I got 20 pages into it before I DNF'd it because of how boring and slow-paced it was, which kind of sucks because I love the 40s aesthetics, and I really wanted to read it, but yeah. Then the next book that I read, those are DNFs, or not DNFs, secret TBRs. The next book I read is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I got this book from my birthday book haul, and I also have sticky notes to share what I thought. And I really, really was looking forward to reading this book, but it sucked. I rated it a 2 out of 5 stars, meaning I thought it was okay. It had very British humor in it, and it wasn't my cup of tea, and yeah. So what this is about is, if you didn't know, it's about like science fiction. This guy, he explores the galaxy after Earth is destroyed. Yeah, from what I remember, there's not really much happening in the book, and that's also kind of why I was like, about it. He doesn't really explore a lot of the galaxy. I think he explores he goes on 2 ships in like 1 planet. Yeah. I did kind of like the story. Um, some aspects of it, it was very interesting. There was some funny parts, and it was pretty short. I think it was like 215 pages. Let me double check that. Yeah, 215 pages. So it's pretty short. So that's kind of what I liked about it. What I hated was that it was hard to get through. There was also not funny parts. And really, like I said, not my cup of tea because it's very British humor. That's the only way I can describe it. Like for like ironic. I'm not sure. So I want to share with you guys. I also wrote like my Goodreads review. So let me go get that really quick. So my Goodreads review that I said, which I'm actually kind of sad that I didn't end up really liking this book because I really was anticipating it and anticipating reading it, and was very excited when I got it. But I wrote on Goodreads, I am disappointed. I was really hoping to like this book because it sounded right up my alley. For me, it was tough to get through, and although I did laugh a couple of times, the humor wasn't really my cup of tea. So those were basically my overall thoughts on the book. So take that with what you will. Let's see. The next book that I read was The One by Kira Cass. This is the third book in the Selection series. And it was, I don't know, it's the last book in the Selection series. I can't speak today. And I don't know, the Selection series is very entertaining for me. It's not a book that I would necessarily pick up again, or a book series I'd pick up again, although it was good and cute. I rated it a 3 out of 5, so for that means it was good for me. So yeah, I'm not going to explain what it's about. It's basic like this book, but I'll explain the series. The series is basically YA romance that's dystopian, but also very much like The Bachelor, but with a prince. So that's basically what the series is about. Again, I rated it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was cute. I also liked the ending, although it was kind of sad. And I enjoyed the story. Very, very fun read. I'm glad I read it when I did. Although I probably should have read it when I was in high school, a teen. But I don't know. I didn't really like America's choices. America being the main character in this book, I found her very irritating, and just mainly her choices with, because this series is also like a love triangle, kind of. I don't like her with, what was his name? Not Prince Maxon, it's that other guy. Aspen. I don't like her with Aspen, and I don't know, she just made some really, really, really risky, irritating, horrible choices, and anyways, I still would recommend this book if you want to read YA romance, a series, and you're looking for something like it. I am actually, I was gonna give them to the Goodwill, but I found my sister's friend who wanted to read the series, so I am giving the series to her because I feel bad because I spent like I think like $7 on each book, and I'm not keeping it, so whoops. But at least it's going in better hands, so that's good. Although when I told her that I was going to give it to the Goodwill, she was kind of like, but are they bad though? So, yeah. Anyways, the next book that I read is Marked by PC and Kristen Cast. As you saw, this is from my recent book haul, and I decided to read it because vampires, who would not love vampires? Apparently, I did not really enjoy this book because I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. 2 out of 5 stars, meaning I thought it was okay. I mean, although it was a quick and enjoyable read, there was some very, very, very horrible writing choices in here and very outdated terms. So the summary of this book is basically vampire boarding school and hashtag not like other girls main character. It's all I can say. It's just about this girl who turns into a vampire, but the vampire folklore is different in this book series. So she turns into a fledgling vampire, and she goes to a vampire boarding school to, I don't know, learn how to become a vampire, and she's different, and yeah. I liked the vampire boarding school aspect of it, and I liked how it was a speedy read. It was 306 pages, and I just flew through it. I didn't like, again, that writing, outdated terms like FAGs and SLUT shaming. I don't like to say those words because we're not about SLUT shaming in this channel. At least I'm not, because that's just horrible. Anyways, yeah, although I didn't really like the writing and stuff, I'm considering reading the rest of the series, but I'm not going to be buying the series. I'm gonna rent it at like the library when they're open, or when I can. So I also wrote a Goodreads rating on that, and it's also part of the first novel of the House and Night series. So here is what I said. I said, not the best writing, and some very outdated names were used. FAG mainly, but also SLUT. But an interesting premise. I didn't like how Zoe, the main character in this book, was the embodiment of hashtag not like other girls, and condemned other girls for exploring their sexuality, or even just dressing scandalously. Like I said, pretty outdated thinking. Kind of reminds me of Dark Academia, which is cool, so I guess I'll read the rest of the series. I sped through it, so that's good. So, yeah. Anyways, the next book that I read is actually one of my favorites this month, which is Damien Eccles' Life After Death. This is a memoir about Damien Eccles' experience being put on death row for being falsely accused and falsely imprisoned on death row for, I believe, 18 years. So yeah, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars, meaning I really liked it. It was just the best. And like I said about him being falsely accused of murder because he grew up in a kind of small town of like religious Christianity you know what I'm trying to say, just overall not really nice Christians who think that everything that is not following the norm is satanic. So he dressed differently and he listened to heavy metal bands as a teenager. And he was condemned for being a Satanist, even though he wasn't. And that is pretty much why he was a suspect of the murders, and why he was falsely accused and imprisoned, and spent 18 years on death row. I really liked the writing and the story. I'm still thinking about it, and it's just amazing. I hated how it was kind of hard to tell if some parts were journal entries that he wrote in prison versus what he wrote while writing the book. He did kind of put some journal entries in there and his own writing years later, so that was kind of hard to tell. But overall, I just really enjoyed this book, and I highly, highly recommend it. Especially if what I just told you kind of sounds interesting. So, yeah. Anyways, last book that I read, last book I'm going to tell you guys about, is Arena by Holly Jennings. This is a science fiction book about this. It's like a video game science fiction book about this girl who she runs like this virtual reality gaming team, and like the virtual reality gaming is kind of like sports teams almost, so people who are not part of the gaming experience, like players, they go and watch the gaming thing on TV. So yeah, it's just about that, and how the gaming industry is kind of run on drugs and publicity. So yeah. So what I wrote down, where virtual gaming is a sport and a girl and her team competes. Yeah, so basically that. I didn't really like this book. I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. This month wasn't really the best for reading, besides Life After Death. Yeah, so that kind of means this book was okay for me. I did like the world building, although maybe the author should have put more world building and explaining what the world was like in the beginning, like the first chapter, because that kind of confused me. I hated that the editing was not great, and you could see some of that editing on my Instagram, which is at theretro.reader. I also hated that the main character was very two-faced and irritating, so yeah. There was a lot of misspelled words in there, forgetting letters, and not something I really wanted in a published book, like an actual published book, so yeah. And if you want to see, like, the editing, I think I just posted one, and it was in my book stories, which is a highlight on my Instagram feed. So, yeah. I also wrote a very long Goodreads rating, so I'm just going to read that to you guys. I am disappointed. This book sounded like a really great concept, and the execution was okay, but it really didn't exactly hit the mark for me. The main character, Callie Ling, was kind of two-faced, in my opinion. She was very self-conscious at times, but then she was confident in herself. She also was very hot-headed and just an unlikable character for me. And we're not going to talk about the many grammar and spelling mistakes in this book. The world in which this story takes place is actually a highlight of the story. It was very interesting and entertaining to read about. Anyways, if this book sounds interesting to you and you like gaming sci-fi novels or want to get into gaming sci-fi novels, then I would recommend this, if only for entertainment purposes and not something that would stick with you. Sorry to be such a Debbie Downer, but this book was meh. And the reason why I gave kind of a nice review instead of a hateful one is because all the reviews were good, and I'm like, am I the only one who hates it? Anyways, I talked long enough. Yeah, so this is kind of what this kind of process, I guess, is kind of what these videos are going to be for now until I figure out how to edit them again. I don't think I'm going to be putting my intro and outro on here, so that kind of sucks, because I did download an editing app on my phone, but I just don't like it, and I think it just keeps on crashing, especially when videos are like 20 minutes long or longer. So yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later on today where I discuss my August TBR, which is new because I never do TBR videos. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.